A memorial service will be held for Mpumalanga-based journalist and his partner today. The remains of Sibusiso Ndlovu and his partner Zodwa Mdhluli were found in Limpopo last month, weeks after they were reported missing. The service is organized by the National Press Club and the African Media and Communications Forum. Watching that story is SABC News reporter Calvin Dludla, who's with us in our studios for the very latest. And Calvin, great to see you. Devastating story still this, even when you consider that there are so many questions that remain unanswered for the grieving families.
Good morning to you, Ayanda, and to our SABC viewers at home. I have to say that it is a pleasure to sit next to you again here. And I have to say that today we are covering the memorial service. It is going to take place at the GCIS Auditorium in Pretoria. That is where SABC News will be covering that memorial service. As you have mentioned in your introduction, Sibusiso Ndlovu, known as Aserie to many, a former journalist, and also his partner Zodwa Mdhluli. Just to refresh the mind of the viewer at home, the pair went missing on the 18th of February. Ayanda, you would remember that we were told that Sibusiso Ndlovu left work at around 5 p.m. at the Daily Mall in Pretoria. And when he arrived at home, we were told that at around 12 midnight, their house was ransacked and they were kidnapped. And their disappearance, mysterious disappearance, triggered the missing persons alert, which later escalated to a full investigation of kidnapping and house robbery. Police assembled 2 teams in Gauteng and also in Mpumalanga. That team consisted of senior police officers and detectives and criminologists, including Calvin Dludla. That led to the arrest of one of the suspects. The first suspect that was arrested was Mr. Samuel Morongwe, a 41-year-old male that was working for the family. The family was shocked when they saw the suspect on the dock, saying that the suspect was working for them as an e-hailing driver. Also, Skosana was later arrested. After a few days, the police issued an alert saying that they were looking for 2 suspects linked to this case. I'm talking about Uwon and Madisha, and they were arrested where they were hiding in Dinokeng. All of the suspects were facing multiple charges ranging from kidnapping and house robbery. Later, prosecutors informed the presiding officer, I'm talking about Magistrate Andrew Dupree, that they are adding more charges, 2 counts of murder. You remember when Griselda Lewis was covering a funeral of one of the police officers in Bloemfontein, General Fanima Simula, the police commissioner, did mention that there were skeletal remains that were in an advanced stage of decomposition that were found at Rest Defender in Limpopo, 70 kilometers from Kwamhlanga in Mpumalanga. And he did mention that he doesn't want to confirm whether those skeletal remains are indeed of the missing pair, but saying that DNA needs to be conducted so that they can be able to confirm that. When we spoke to the family, they told us that it is discomforting, Ayanda and the viewer, that they are still waiting for the result, but police did mention that those results will be expedited, and you know that there is a backlog when it comes to DNA results in South Africa. They were waiting, they were eagerly waiting, Ayanda, and they told us that this waiting is not good for them. But Brigadier Atlenda Mate, who speaks for the National Police, he confirmed the worst when she issued a statement confirming that indeed those skeletal remains that were found at the Rest Defender were indeed of the missing pair. And on the following day, we visited the family of Zodwa Mdhluli in Tembisa. That is where we spoke to Lillian Mohana, the sister of the late Zodwa Mdhluli, saying that it's devastating for the family. It's a blow because she was a breadwinner. We also spoke to the son, Treasure Mdhluli, who told us that even though police have not yet confirmed at the time that the remains were of the missing pair, but he knew that those remains were of his family because of the clothes that were found. The second body belonging to Sibusiso Ndlovu, they found shoes there, and the family confirmed that these shoes belong to Sibusiso Ndlovu. One would think this is a fairy tale, Ayanda, a story of 2 people missing on the same day and found together at the Rest Defender. You would understand that police officers worked. When we visited Elvis Ndlovu, the older brother of Sibusiso Ndlovu, and wrote the blood next to Kwamhlanga. He did mention that police worked with them, and when they delivered the news, they were accompanied by pastors and social workers from the police force, saying that police comforted them and prepared them mentally and thanked the police. The reason why I'm highlighting the police issue, it's because in most cases we normally blame police for incompetence. We are saying they don't do this and that, but right. The family of Mdhluli and Ndlovu, they did mention that they helped them so much. So I have to say that today at the GCIS auditorium, the memorial service will be taking place, and on Saturday I have to say that Zodwa Mdhluli will be buried in Hazyview, and Sibusiso Ndlovu, known as Aserie, will be buried at Mahlabathini in Kwamhlanga in Mpumalanga.
Right, yeah, absolutely. It's good to hear, I suppose, the family corroborating the fact that police had walked this journey with them, but still so devastating, of course, when you consider how this pair was ripped from their families. Calvin Dludla, thanks very much indeed. We'll watch that memorial service with you as it gets underway sometime later today.